Hi and welcome. Michael Griffiths here from My Small Business Marketing Guru. Great to have you along as we look at the new timeline feature on Facebook. And it has taken us about a week or so to get ourselves organized, actually understand the pros and cons and the new features so that we could bring you a fairly in-depth look at how to use the new timeline for your business and your business pages, the exciting new changes which are great for businesses, some things that you're going to have to get used to, but overall how you can implement the new changes because they will take effect whether you like it or not come the end of March. So let's get ourselves stuck in and go through where things now sit, great new things for you to be able to do on the timeline features, and have a look at how you can use it to be showcasing your business, be able to showcase your product, your brand, and get people actually interacting with you, which is the whole purpose of what social media is all about. So the first thing we notice is the change in the admin panel. What used to be hidden over on the top right hand side for you to be able to click on and go through now sits for you only to be able to see. So this is this first block that we're seeing, which is the admin panel. Now your prospects can't see that, only you can. So I can see now what has just recently happened, who's just commented on our page, who's liked things. I can see them all there. I can now see who my new likes are. So before you knew that likes were coming up, but you didn't know who they were. So now here's a great thing to actually be able to keep monitoring who your new likers are, and we'll come to that shortly. You can then see your insights. So how many new likes you're getting, how many people are talking about you, how many people are you reaching in other people's networks with the insights. Okay, up the very top here, we've got what used to be share and like and get into other people's networks, where it used to be pretty much everywhere, has been nicely now put into here. So you can invite your email contacts to the page. You can invite friends, and you can share the page. Okay, so the share the page is also available for prospects to be able to see. And you want to encourage people to be able to share your page amongst their networks. If you're big into, or you're not sure, or even if you're about to use Facebook advertising, you find that here and create an ad. So this has just been nicely streamlined so that everything sits in the one area. In the manage, you can still go to edit your page. When you click edit your page, that still acts exactly the same as what it used to. So that's where you can check your settings, you can check your basic information, you can be adding things to your profile, you can be featuring pages. And when I talk about featuring pages, putting pages that you want to show up on your page more times than others. And I always think it's good to have the page owner there too, because people want to know who it is that they're talking to on social media. So you can do that through the featured section. So this hasn't changed at all. Okay, so you just go to the manage and then you can still see things. What has changed is a little extra line here. Everyone can add photos and videos to your timeline, and show the box for recent posts by others. So what used to take place was if someone came and wrote on your site, obviously it appeared on your wall. Well, that doesn't take place as much now. It appears over here in this little box called recent posts by others. Okay, which I think are probably a very good thing, because people used to just go and write on other people's walls thinking it would give them exposure. These are the small percentage of people who have actually got no idea how to use social media, and now that they can't be exposed as much, I don't think it's a bad thing, because they only show up here and most people won't even be interested in that. So now they're actually going to have to learn how to use social media properly. But that's what that is all about. If I was featuring things, then this is where the likes come up. So pretty much the page gets broken into two. It gets broken into your posts that come over on the left hand side, and then other things on the right hand side. So this is how many of my personal friends like this page. This is when a friend of mine has shared this page to someone else. And then posts by others, and then the likes. So as I said, it's probably not a bad thing that the page has now been separated. But let's continue staying up here with the admin panel. So you can find all of that in Manage. And we've taught this many a times, where you should use your page as your fan page and go and like and comment. You can still do that under Manage. It just says use Facebook as, and then your page. So you can still use your page as your business just by coming to Manage and then here. So this admin panel has really just been, I suppose, systemized a little bit more. It's more easier to find things, and if you don't want to see it, well, you can just hide it also. I think some of the big things that are positives in this are both the notifications, so you can see them straight away, and your new likers. Because now you can actually make contact with your likers and thank them for being on your page. Certainly you don't want to do that for every single one, because you're going to take up a lot of time, but someone might come on who you've just met in the offline world, or you were just speaking to on the phone, and now they've come and joined you on here. Not a bad idea. Click on their name, send them a message and say, hey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for now being a fan of our page, because that's all about keeping that relationship going. So that's the admin panel. So let's take ourselves down to now what people start to see. So when someone comes onto a page that they're not the admin for, this is pretty much what they are seeing from the what they call the cover all the way down to the posts. So let's start with this cover, and admittedly it took us a little bit of time to get this right, so I was waiting to be able to actually show this, because without a doubt this is probably the biggest, best feature change that there is. Yes, you used to be able to have a little logo on the old page sitting up in the left hand corner, and we'd always suggest to people, hey, turn that into a side panel and let people know what you do and how you do it. Okay, so this is no different, except it's a great big 399 width size of this is what we do. And already we've worked out a bit of a formula to this. Welcome to. That to me is so powerful. And then we have our logo. So it's welcome to Secrets of a Super Small Business. Hey, this is how we help you. This is what we do. Now, Facebook have already put out a very strict guidelines to what can be on this cover. And to some extent, I think we're going to be pushing the boundaries a little bit, but I've got a feeling we're going to be okay in what we've done. Because Facebook have gone, no promotion in terms of advertising, no discounting, you cannot display your website on there, therefore the other aspects that we're going to go through. So that's where they want them put. So we couldn't put, welcome to Secrets of a Super Small Business, secretsofasupersmallbusiness.com.au. They wouldn't allow that. However, we've still got our images of what we do, as well as we tell people of what we do. So that's the first thing that someone sees. So you want that to be impressive. Okay, you don't want to leave it blank. And you certainly want to make sure that you're being seen in great light because of this big cover that you're allowed to put on. The little edit profile picture. This is what is going to show up as you write things. So as you can see down here, that's the little box that shows up. Okay, this is the box that shows up. So if you wanted to change that or move it around, you hover over it, you go edit profile, and you can move it around. Okay, so this has been taken straight off your old page. So if you had it right on your old page, then you won't need to change anything. This is something I like straight away, and it's in the about sits here. So straight away, straight underneath our cover and our logo, now we've got a great opt-in taking place. So we don't put about, my small business marketing guru's been in business for 5 years, yawn, who's bored. We go, hey, grab your Black Mask Marketing resources to help your business grow. Visit. So now we're database building straight off Facebook and getting prospects from Facebook to our databases. But more importantly, we're showing ways to be able to help them. And that's really important. So make sure you use that about section and have a website there that people can see and people can click on. Okay, use that section really well. Now, as we come over to the photos and the likes and some of the apps, I'm a little bit 50-50 in this. I think the old way maybe it was a little bit better, but it is what it is. So you probably want your most recent photos going to show up, and when people click on photos, they're going to be able to see the photos. You still have how many fans you have. Okay, this is an app where people can see our YouTube channel, so that's great. We want an app like that there. Our sweepstakes, so that's our competition. But all the others are hidden, and they've got to be able to click on here to be able to see them all. So where before they were all listed, now somebody's actually got to click because it only shows the first few. Okay, I'm led to believe, and we haven't seen it as yet, that we're going to be able to change these around. Okay, so you can choose what ones are being in the prime real estate spots as we put. So that's that. Let's keep on going. The next big thing is what we call pinning a story. So yeah, you can still write a story. You still write your post there. You can still put on a photo. You still got the questions. Okay, so that is still all available. Okay, something which becomes quite nice. You can put here when you got going. So look, to be quite honest, I don't think it really matters on social media. So it's something which is, yeah, it's a nice feature and some people will use it. But I think for the people who sort of listen and part of our community, it's not something I'd be doing. What I would be doing is using this, however. So I wrote a post this morning because we have a great new webinar that's coming up next week. And obviously we want people to see it. So on the old page, when we wrote more things, that would naturally go down until it eventually disappeared. But what we've got the ability to now do is pin a story to the top, which means that this will remain the top post until it is no longer there. So that's great if you're running an event, if you've got something which a lot of people are liking and commenting on. You want that to be in the prime real estate spot for people to be able to see it. So therefore, what you do is you pin it. And let me give you an example of a story we haven't pinned yet. We hover over the right-hand side, and we can either highlight it, and I'll come to that in a moment, or we can click on it and go pin to the top, which is fantastic because we get to then have it at the top the whole time. What is also good is we could go to the star and we could highlight it. So if I click highlight, what that will now do is rather than being in just a simple left-hand side, you can see now it goes across the whole page. So it really stands out more than just being tucked away on the left-hand side. So you can pin it to the top or you can highlight it and make it take up the whole page. Okay, so if I don't want to highlight it anymore, I just unclick the star and back it'll go to where it was before. Same with if you want to unpin something, all we do is we go up and we click unpin and it'll go back down into its spot. So I've heard a lot of people go, well, the posts seem to be everywhere. The posts certainly go left over to the right and it goes in some sort of like a timeline order. Okay, so I think in the end people will just get used to where things are. But what it certainly does, it doesn't affect how it shows on a news feed, so it'll still come up the same way. And with the ability to pin and highlight, you really have the ability to showcase some of your best stuff up the top. Which means if you put on a poll, the poll could be pinned and you're going to get more people actually responding to it, rather than the poll eventually just disappearing. Again, if you put something on, so we've put, when we just changed our logo on, well, we don't need this anymore, so we can just hide it from the page. So that'll disappear, and the rest will continue and show up. Okay, so they're just some of the features right now that we can be using in this new timeline application. Okay, so leaving our page and coming onto a page which is something we've already liked. So we can see what it looks like when we're not the admin. So you can see there's no admin box up the top anymore. Okay, bit of a waste to have a nice pattern. Doesn't really tell me too much. Even their little logo box. Okay, so we've got only $69, but really, what is it? So you can start to see some of the things we're talking about versus some of the things that we should be doing. But this is what I want you to be able to see. What we have the potential to do now as users, once we've liked a page, we get to choose whether it shows in a news feed or whether we want to create a list for it. So Facebook is moving, and they had their conference about 2 months ago now, where they're moving to be able to make it like, I suppose, Google does in terms of providing a user experience. So if you don't want to see it, then you can remove it from your news feed, even though you're a fan of it. Or you might want to put it into one of your lists and only go to that list once a week or so. So they're trying to make a bit more of a user experience. The other thing is that you have the ability to now send them a message. Okay, so we could send them a message directly, which is absolutely fantastic. Because before, that was why we needed to be a page owner, so that people could then talk to us and send us a message. Well, that doesn't have to be the case anymore. Okay, we have the ability for fans to be able to send a message straight to us straight away, which is great. Plus, from here, you have the ability to be able to share the page and to be able to add comments to a page. So really now the user experience in terms of people being able to connect with you on the page has just been enhanced. And you want to make sure that you are encouraging people to message you and to share your page into their networks. So that's something you should be doing all the time. And the final thing that we're going to just look at here is when you write a message. So let's just say new video coming out soon. But if I was wanting to target that message because it was a workshop that was just coming up in one particular city or one particular state, or there was an event in a particular state, well, I don't want all my fans to see it because there's no need for it to see it. See, one of the biggest things that people got annoyed with when surveyed was that they got information that wasn't relevant to them. So now you can put on a post, you can come to this little public, and you can choose exactly who you want to send it to. So now we can choose through the locations where we want to send this, who we actually get people to see it. So now not everyone has to see it. Instead of everyone seeing it, it can now be targeted to a particular group that have to see it. So that's another great little feature there. Hey, new things are always going to be coming up, and from the Facebook conference a couple of months ago, there's even more that's going to take place with the timeline feature. But there's some great things so that now you don't have to be worried about changing over. You can get yourself going, get yourself a cover designed, get yourself an about done, pin some stories, highlight some stories, and jump into the new timeline feature. Hope that's been helpful. You can always get great marketing tips straight off our blog, which is www.mysmallbusinessmarketingguru.com.au, where we're constantly, every single week, showing small, medium-sized businesses how to generate more leads, sales, and profits through online marketing, offline marketing, having a marketing website, and social media marketing. Till next time, have a great tackle with your timeline and your business timeline, and we look forward to speaking to you real soon.